Hello everybody, it's your favorite hero Chris Nest here, and we are finally reacting to Death Battle. I've had to wait all day for Barlow, so Barlow, say hello.
Heyo.
Now, Barlow, how knowledgeable are you on Leon and Frank?
Leon, I know very little about. I've only seen the Resident Evil movies, which are, I'm pretty sure, really poor representations of the series, except for that one, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually not even entirely sure the Resident Evil movies are, like, without live actors, are even considered canon, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And for Frank West, I've only seen a bunch of, what were they called? The Psychopaths? I've seen a few of those, so that's all I know about Frank.
Yeah, and we were talking about having prediction videos in after this one, so if we know the characters, I mean.
Yep. I can't do shit unless I know the characters, sadly, so.
Yeah, understandable. So, let's just, I guess there's not very much else to say. The link to the originals in the description, as everyone knows. And I guess we just get watching. And you ready?
Oh yeah.
Countdown?
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm looking forward to this one. No, I have
Surviving
I have
the
a worry they're
undead
not gonna get
apocalypse
Frank
takes
all of
grit,
his weapons.
perseverance, and an army's worth of firepower.
I just got a
With all
notification
that
someone
and
subscribed to
some
my
luck,
channel.
These two became experts
Oh,
in
nice.
zombie fighting.
Leon Kennedy, the top cop and government agent in Resident Evil.
And Frank West, the backyard wrestling MacGyver of Dead Rising.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. As a child, Leon Scott Kennedy's father instilled in him a strong sense of justice. Following in his footsteps, Leon joined the police force, determined to uncover the darkest riddles and uphold the law.
So, for his first ever assignment, he took the biggest challenge he could find. Instead of picking an easy job like dishing out dastardly parking tickets, he was off to Raccoon City to investigate a bunch of mysterious murders.
His instincts were good,
Weird as hell
perhaps
model.
too good. Officer Kennedy wound up choosing the most challenging
I
and
think this is like
dangerous
PlayStation
assignment
1.
he possibly could have.
Yeah, turns out Trash Panda Town was due
Okay.
for a big old zombie outbreak, and Leon got stuck in the middle. How's that for hazing the rookie?
He wasn't a rookie for long. After fending off the zombie threat and even taking a bullet,
From the grassy knoll?
Leon was recruited by the American government as a special agent, bodyguard, and their go-to specialist for apocalyptic events.
In all cases, the people that are bitten become infected themselves and go on to attack others. The only way to stop the spread of infection is to destroy the infectee's brains. Shoot them in the head.
His training at the police academy turned him into a pretty tough guy.
This
But
feels
as a
like
special
Final
agent, he
Fantasy
became
fused with
unstoppable.
All
King
thanks
of
to his
Fighters in
extensive
terms of
firearms training,
cutscenes.
extreme driving tests, and the study of
I
tactical
can see why you
response
think that,
scenarios.
actually.
Guess what martial art they teach American Secret Service members? A traitorous Russian one called Sistema, and Leon is an expert at it.
Sistema is a free-form martial art focusing on disabling targets via pressure points and joints. While not specifically lethal on its own, Sistema also involves quite a lot of training with knives and firearms.
That's good, because I don't think fists would be enough to take on monsters like the tyrants, skinless dogs, and... is that Gene Simmons?
Right, these bioorganic weapons, or BOWs, were far tougher than your ordinary run-of-the-mill zombie. Thankfully, Leon has the weaponry to take them on.
He's efficient with just about any kind of gun, but like me, he loves carrying around his favorites, including the Silver Ghost, a unique pistol specifically designed for him. He's also got a modified 50 caliber Desert Eagle Magnum, a gift from his father. Lucky bastard, all I ever got from my dad was a sore cheek.
While he has no problem dual-wielding handguns, Leon is extremely proficient in dealing damage with heavier weapons, such as the M203 grenade launcher or his ludicrous rocket launcher special.
This red-tipped wrecker of an RPG is far more powerful than an ordinary propelled grenade. The gun itself looks similar to a classic RPG-7 model, first used as an anti-tank weapon by the Soviet Union. Since the red grenade is so deadly, it's probably a thermobaric explosive booster, which can launch over 600 feet for a 60-foot wide explosion. That's more than enough to take down one of those bow wows.
Leon has plenty of experience with hand grenades, rifles, flamethrowers, etc., but one weapon stands above them all. His knife.
Really?
Oh yeah, Leon's combat knife is way more than some plain old bread cutter. He's practically magic when it comes to his skill with a knife. And if he gets hit, he'll be fine. Probably. I mean, he's wearing lightweight level 3 tactical body armor, which can stop bullets from a magnum and even some rifles. If he does take a hit, he's carrying some healing herbs, which he can also take a hit from, if you know what I'm saying.
He's not snorting drugs, Boomstick. Healing herbs have a history of being applied as an aerosol spray or ground up within paper.
Well, once Leon became the government's numero uno answer to all their zombie problems, he was stopping outbreaks all over the world. He had to pull off some awesome feats to do it. He even had to make some horrible sacrifices along the way. Like that poor Ducati.
Leon is strong enough to crush a skull or even force open the jaws of a giant infected shark. The shark appears to be similar in size to a great white, which has a bite strength of nearly 2 tons of force.
That shit's crazy! And speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about Leon's relationship with boulders.
Relationship with
Oh,
what?
did you see what it says on the top
Boulders.
right?
You know, they're like really big rocks. Think you would know that. Well, he fought Chris Redfield to a standstill, the famous boulder puncher himself. And while Leon doesn't seem to have Chris's brute strength, he did push over this giant rock with a little help.
Leon is pretty quick too. He's dodged bullets, a moving laser grid, and even outraced this tyrant, which, according to the Inside of Biohazard guide, could run up to 43 miles per hour.
He's even thrown his trusty knife fast enough that this creepy guy didn't even react until, oh.
The average time for a person to perceive and react to movement is 1/4 of a second. Leon appears to be about 30 feet away from his target Salazar here, meaning he threw his knife around 80 miles per hour.
The average speed for most world-class knife throwers is only 35 miles per hour, so he's more than double that.
Leon is tough, having survived blows from various large and burly BOWs. He even matched the strength of Umbrella agent Jack Krauser. Krauser was strong enough to perform a 30-foot vertical jump. Generally, men can pull off a 2-foot vertical jump at most, making Krauser potentially 15 times stronger than the average man.
At this point, let's just say that Leon is
Is
basically
it just me, or does
superhuman.
it sound like
It's
they're
he
like
has zero
exaggerating
Au
Leon?
contraire, Boomstick, Leon has
Sort
his
of,
fair share
but
of
let's see how
baggage.
things
He's
go.
pretty gullible, oftentimes tricked by those wilier than himself.
Go. Save yourself.
Is it just me, or does everybody always ignore what I say?
Like her? You think he just might be trying to get laid? Lord knows I've done a few dumb things on that quest. I don't know about his chances, though, rocking that hairdo.
But after more than 15 years of nightmarish catastrophes, Leon's mental state has become more fragile and more reliant on alcohol.
Ah, you and me both, pal. He always needs a little chaos in his life, and when it comes down to it, that's what makes him such a friggin' badass.
Better try a new trick, cause that one's getting old.
Upon first impression, Frank West seems to just be your average journalist, but he's far more than that.
I'll say, he's covered wars, you know.
As a photojournalist, Frank
Yeah.
will regularly go far beyond the call of duty to uncover his next big scoop. It was this ironclad determination which led him to a mall in the town of Willamette, Colorado, where he found the zombie apocalypse.
What? Did you just say zombies?
But Frank's down to rough up dozens of zombies every now and then. And with his wrestling history and battlefield experience, he's got the skills to do it.
Despite never having fired a gun at another person before Willamette, Frank discovered he's a natural when it comes to firearms.
He's handy with all sorts of guns, like pistols, shotguns, machine guns, and a beautiful minigun. Oh, I love it. He's even got a Silver Ghost, a unique pistol specifically designed for government agent Leon Hey, wait a minute.
But bullets can only last so long against a never-ending zombie horde, so Frank was forced to improvise.
And thanks to being in a shopping mall, he had plenty of options.
From obvious choices like sledgehammers, baseball bats, and chainsaws to out-of-the-box picks like shampoo, lipstick, lawnmowers, and a shopping cart, Frank has an uncanny ability to effectively weaponize pretty much anything he gets his hands on.
Garbage, toys, food, you name it. This guy does not overlook anything's death-dealing potential. He even uses his camera flash as a weapon.
His primary camera appears to be a Nikon D100, which has a flash color temperature of 6000K, or crystal white. When used up close, it's nearly as effective on the eyes as a flashbang grenade.
Anyway, Frank survived the zombie horde with flying colors. His next step was obvious. Profit from it.
He became famous overnight. He was named the Hero of Willamette, hosted a TV show, and scored all sorts of endorsements.
His love of using baseball bats to smash zombie skulls in even landed him a great commercial deal with Deadwood Pro Baseball. Damn, so he's making tons of money off of killing people. My dream.
I know, right? All these zombies were technically people once, so when you really think about it, this whole situation is pretty
Freaking awesome! Ah, living the dream, buddy. You earned it.
Anyway, fame is a fickle mistress, and it wasn't long until Frank's 15 minutes of fame were cut short. He eventually became a college teacher, but not before several more encounters with the undead kind.
And the more he fought him, the more creative he got about it.
Frank's greatest asset is his impressive ingenuity. With nothing but his blood, sweat, and tears,
And a shitload of duct tape.
Frank perfected the art
Shitload
of
of duct tape.
combination weapons.
Like the paddle saw, where he took a kayak paddle and strapped on a couple chainsaws for a rip-roaring good time.
The Electric Crusher is an invention combining the power of a car battery with the weight of a sledgehammer, crafting a Mjolnir for mortals.
The Blitzkrieg is a freaking wheelchair powered by a car battery, firing machine guns all over the place. Stephen Hawking could have even beat death with that.
He can make a laser sword by sticking a gem into a flashlight. Don't ask me how.
And the Reaper is the unholy union of sickle and samurai sword. Wow, and all that is just scratching the surface. He's even got combo vehicles like the exosuit,
That's a suit made of slurping machines.
which shoots ice tornadoes. Talk about cool, fun.
When I told you these games got outrageous, I
Frank
was
has
not
used
kidding.
an arcade machine to miraculously copy some of the powers of fellow Capcom characters.
You're a wizard, Frankie.
No, he's not magic. These powers come directly from costumes most commonly obtained from the machine. For example, he can don Ryu's ki to perform hurricane kicks, or Mega Man X's armor complete with a Mega Buster.
You are what you wear. Speaking of costume changes, sadly, Frank eventually was caught by zombies and wound up becoming another mindless slave of the undead horde. But it's okay, he got better.
Frank has pulled off a lot of impressive feats. Despite having little formal training aside from maybe a 3-day combat journalist crash course, he's killed hundreds, maybe thousands of zombies, giving him one of the highest body counts in video game history.
He's really strong too. He can pull a zombie's limbs and head off no problem. And in the exosuit, he's pushed around a 2-ton car.
He's tough enough to survive long falls and devastating helicopter crashes with little issues. And he's quick enough to catch up to and board a train moving 15 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. He can even hop off zombies' heads like a ninja so well that the zombies barely even notice.
Wait, they don't notice that he's literally jumping off their heads? How the hell does he pull that off?
Very careful. But Frank has fought more than just mindless zombies.
Yeah, like some crazy clowns with chainsaws and a freeze gun, and plenty of other psychomaniacs. This is my stuff! Including Lance Corporal Calder, the world's first intelligent soldier zombie.
Also, I think it's important to note many of these feats were performed in a span of 72 hours with no sleep or rest. According to a study on sleep deprivation in 2010, an average human's physical and mental health begins to severely deteriorate after 36 hours of no sleep, resulting in disorientation and even hallucinations.
Here I thought heavy drinking was the only way to legally hallucinate. Well, time to binge Netflix until I trip balls.
Whether by inhuman stamina or just a shit ton of adrenaline, Frank was in peak condition for twice as long as he should have been.
There's that journalist determination again. Sure, he may be a bit of a self-serving asshole, but he's pulled off the impossible more than once, even when he got into his 50s.
Once a survivor, always a survivor.
Snag your very own disposable Digi-Jeep disposable camera. It's fantastic. I mean it. Seriously. I need a raise.
Seriously.
All right, the combatants
I need a
are set.
raise.
Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, let me tell you about how you can be the MacGyver of the
skip.
kitchen.
Okay, so I still think they greatly over-exaggerated Leon. I do still think that, but I do admit a lot of Leon's feats are notable. I still think Frank's durable enough to survive, though. Not to mention, I can't think of anyone that Leon's ever dealt with that can literally just do whatever he wants like Frank. Frank is just one of the most resourceful people who can adapt on the fly that I've ever seen in a game. And like I've said before, I've played all the Dead Risings. It's not like Frank hasn't dealt with people like Leon before. And not to mention the exosuit. They didn't point this out. Frank won that fight, Barlow, by swinging Christmas trees.
What?
Yeah, that fight with the exosuit super soldier zombie, your only weapon of choice in that fight was basically a Christmas tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he won that. So you explain that to me. I can't remember if he was wearing the exosuit or not, but what I'm trying to say is Frank's dealt with military people before, and way higher up people before. So I don't think, that's why I think Leon has a lot of shit that's going for him, but I think the reason Frank will win is because Frank's dealt with people like that before, so he knows how to beat them, and he has beaten them.
Alright.
And like I said, I don't know why they didn't bring this up. If Frank gets hurt, all he has to do is eat something and he heals back up. Legitimately, that's how you healed in the games. You just eat and you're good to go.
Right. And, with a lot of this information, it looks like, what was it? I kind of noticed that a lot of capabilities of Frank's were left out. Like, what was that one psychopath that put him on a meat hook? And he was perfectly fine afterwards.
Yeah, the cannibal dude. And keep in mind, you watched him. Frank pulls himself off of it.
Yeah.
And he acts like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I'm not
what I was
saying
afraid
it's-
they were going to do, was undermine him. They don't note that stuff anymore.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It may be non-canonical, as it could be taken down as, player preference or whatever, or an optional fight, but he's shown the capability to do so, therefore it should be included,
Yeah, not to mention that fight I showed you with the meat hook guy, I actually forgot his name, but that's actually part of the story. You have to go through that to actually beat the game and actually escape. So that is actually canon. Frank has to beat that fight.
Yeah. The fight itself, maybe not the meat hook, but that is still a capability of Frank's. So, yeah, I don't know how many wounds that Leon survived when he was directly impaled through the torso and just walked it off. I mean, sure, he's taken a bullet before, but that's not the same size as a fucking meat hook used to hang pig carcasses. So...
Yeah, and you gotta keep in mind, a lot of the psychopaths Frank fights, especially in Dead Rising 2, are using a lot of really strong weapons, and Frank has taken hits from them and still gotten back up. And one of them was that dual-wielding chainsaw clown guy, Adam. Like, you've seen, like, Frank takes a hit from him, blood goes everywhere, Frank just gets back up.
Yeah.
And what happens when Leon meets a chainsaw? Leon dies. Literally, in every game there's a chainsaw enemy. Leon just dies if he gets caught.
And just to say, what was I gonna say? Shit. Something about Leon and right. It looks like they're using a lot of cinematic-based canonical things. Like for Frank, a lot of cinematic-based feats and skill sets and whatnot. I don't know what they or why they chose the weapons they did for him. I know he's got a lot more, like you said.
Yeah, like literally, God, they even said themselves, this isn't even scratching the surface. Like it's literally in the hundreds of weapons Frank can make. One of them is one of my favorites. It's a one-time use thing, but it's a football with 4 sticks of dynamite attached to it, and it's called a Hail Mary.
Okay, so essentially, I don't think that Frank is going to win, but I'm rooting for him anyways. I really want him to win. I think Leon's out of his... Oh wait, no, that's right. Leon's got his really strong weaponry, like that RPG shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, Frank's fought people with that shit before.
Has he like survived point
Yes,
blank
he has.
blows and explosions from RPGs and shit?
Yes, he has.
Ooh.
In the exosuit,
Wow.
mind you. But
They are giving him the exosuit, so...
Yeah, and I have to point out that surviving the helicopter crash with like no scratches is essentially the same thing. Not to mention, if they're gonna bring in Zombie Frank, Frank literally just fucking wins. Because what they didn't notice is Frank is still conscious. He still knows who he is.
The thing with Zombie Frank is they already said that even though he reached that point, they're not putting him in it because he was healed from it. It's not really an alternate form because it requires outside help.
Well, I mean, in the teaser they showed that there was going to be zombies in the fight, so that's kind of why I figured they were going to bring that in.
Okay. Well, you never know. Maybe they will.
Alright, well, I'm with you. I have a bad gut feeling that Leon's going to win, but I want Frank to win because I've wanted Frank in one of these for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, yeah, let's just go ahead and watch because I can go on and on for this forever.
Alright.
You count down.
2, 1, go.
With the evacuation complete, state officials are prioritizing...
If Leon does win, I just hope the logic's there, and it's not another Scout versus Tracer thing where it's just popularity vote.
Sweet! Just what I was looking for.
Surf bot head.
No one's
Nice.
supposed to be here. Never stopped me before, pal.
Yeah, you shot him some. I like Frank's model.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if I've seen it in another game. Fuck you. Fuck you, love Frank. Oh, the arcade machines. Oh yeah, gotta keep in mind, Frank has the stuff from Ryu and Mega Man too. And one of them was Dante.
Yeah.
Oh, he's making something. What's he making though? Oh. Basically Thor's hammer. Okay, this is just fan service.
Oh yeah.
They're fighting while trying to kill. They're fighting while killing zombies. This is amazing.
Give it up, man. You can't keep up with me. Wanna bet? I've covered wars, you know.
Jesus Christ. Thing is, Frank actually has stamina advantage, I feel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Huh.
Lucky me.
Man, the years have not been nice to his midsection though. Boy.
Is Frank literally gonna... Oh, wait a minute. He got in the store. Exosuit.
Nice to meet you. Why don't you chill out?
Here we go.
Oh, shit. Wait. I think Frank's actually gonna win. The way they're setting it up, I mean.
No.
Did that kill him, though? Yeah, it did.
Come on.
Something tells me Frank won't be coming back from the dead this time.
Frank's cheeky strategies and endlessly creative arsenal certainly put up a good fight, but in the end, Leon just had him beat in nearly every other category.
Frank was one tough cookie, but Leon's superhuman abilities were just more impressive. Frank's pushed a 2-ton car, right?
Yes, which is similar to Leon holding back the shark's 2-ton biting force. But his boulder feat was much more impressive. By comparing the boulder's size to Leon, it appears to have
But
weighed
he had
around
help
9
with that.
tons at minimum. While Leon did have help pushing it, even half of 9 tons is much heavier than anything Frank's lifted or pushed.
Leon and Frank seemed equally tough, but Leon was definitely quicker. Bullet timing, laser dodging, and hell, Leon's speed and precision with his knife on its own is more impressive than any
That laser
speed feat
dodging
Frank's
is a little
got.
But in
questionable.
the end, the most important question was whether or not Leon could cope with Frank's insane weaponry and unpredictable creativity.
But Leon's seen plenty of crazy shit in his career and fought lots of surprising and off-putting monsters.
His years of formal training
Well.
and more consistent combat record certainly lent him the experience needed
Yeah,
to win.
I wouldn't compare
He's
those
survived
to
numerous
Frank,
battles
though.
with enemies powerful enough to one-shot him, and
Yeah,
he's shown
most of those
plenty
are
of creative
biological.
strategy and critical thinking mid-fight.
Like when he fought Tyrant Glenn, using momentum from his own injuries and throwing a friggin' motorcycle through the air. Leon was just too fast, too strong, too experienced, and too badass. He was frankly on his
I'll
game.
give him the
The
strength
winner is
advantage, I'll give
Leon
him the
Kennedy.
experience advantage, but you can't
Thanks for watching
match.
this episode of Death Battle. If you want
Frank's
to check out commentary
creativity.
for this episode, you can click the little box right over there
Yeah.
for the first membership trial. And if
I
you
mean,
wanna
I'm still
grab
looking
music
to the
from
fight
Spotify,
I'm doing
you
with
do
Frank.
so
I'm
down
actually
below.
probably gonna write that. But I'm gonna list every possible fucking weapon he can get. Doctor... I wanted to see this, actually! I suggested this in one of their comment sections, actually!
Hey, they heard. Unlike frickin' Riku versus Sasuke, am I right?
So what would we... So I guess we both say we kind of were iffy on the verdict.
Yeah, the verdict could have used a lot more thought.
Because
But-
it doesn't shock me Leon could win. But I don't like how the whole time they basically just said all Frank had was his creativity. That kind of undermines the whole character.
I think durability also had a huge part in it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, Leon has herbs, but if you give him one of everything, which is kind of the way you should do these verse debates, like, Frank can definitely outlast Leon in durability terms. Like I said, I was pretty sure they were going to undermine Frank and not talk about the level of durability he had. But
Lo and behold.
I called it. Because logically, I do think in a unprepared fight, Frank should win. I still stand by that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the only thing I think Leon has in terms of advantages would be experience, hand-to-hand combat, and I would say strength advantage. So...
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't want to drag this on too long, so I'm going to say I disagree with the verdict. I say Frank should have won, and I do believe I've given some pretty good reasons for why he should have won. Especially because their reasoning doesn't make much sense at all, really.
I'll probably go into a bit more of a detailed charade on that on DA sometime.
When you do put that up, though, we can
Yeah.
we'll discuss it. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction video. Leave a comment telling us if you disagree or agree with us, and leave a like if you want. Until next time, each and every one of you stay awesome. Marlo, say bye.
No. I don't wanna.
Alrighty then. Bye, guys.
Alright, fine, you talked me into it. Later.